Pura au po te waka, ko te maunga roa te tangata. Ko Taranaki, ko Pauakai, ko Kaitake, ko ia te puna e eke mai ai te tangata. Ko Taranaki te pau erenga, waka, te pau i ngā iwi, te pau i ngā tangata, te pau i ngā kaupapa, T.A. Mauri ora. Mauri ora i te wānau, nau mai, oki mai, and welcome back. Welcome back to our Ngā Kanohi o Taranaki Iwi kaupapa. This is our second episode, and just really delighted to be able to share with you once again another kōrero from one of our whanaunga, our Taranaki Iwi whanaunga. So for our wānau who were able to listen in and listen to Shirley's kōrero on Wednesday, beautiful kōrero, and just really great. Just want to mihi to Shirley again for sharing that for her journey. But as you can see here, I have another one of our special whanaunga with us. And so without further ado, I'm going to pass the rākau over to you, whanaunga, just to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, ko wai koe, no hea koe, and what your journey's been like for you. Kia koe.
Tēnā koutou, ngā kaihui o te waka o te kāhui o Taranaki. Whiria ai. Ko ranginui e tūnei, ko papatūnuku e tākato nei. O ngā rauranga tira mā o te rangi nei. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Ko Taranaki maunga, te maunga o te pau o tōku ao. Kia ora mo tō wāhi haumaru. Tōku kaiako o te reo Māori. Ko puhi rawa ko whaunuku. Rawa ko te māhui peika. Kia ora mo tō ara ki te kōrero. Ki Taranaki Iwi, ki te kāhui o Taranaki, ki tēnei kaupapa. Me ngā ringa tango parahia o tēnei kaupapa. Kia ora mo tō mahi, o te aroha. Ko waiau, e kore take ahau, ko Jasmine tōku ingoa, no Eltham, te Arakamu ahau. He uri ahau o te maunga o Mauau, no te Tairāwhiti, ki te taha o taku koro. Ko taku kuia, te hononga ki te maunga titohia. Ko Aotea, e Tokumaru, etahi o ngā waka. Ko Ngārua Hine, Taranaki Iwi nui, tonu me te awa nui, te ati awa nui tonu, ngā iwi, ko Ngāti Manuhia kai, ko ngā mahanga me poketapu ngā hapu. Ko te aroha o te toko aru, ko Puniho me muru raupatu, etahi o tōku tipuna whare. Ko Taraki o Taranaki Hurunuku, tōku rawa ko Maria Kawarau Pratt, oku karaua nui. Ko Alan Ngārangi Nuku, rawa ko Joe Tangiteruru Mitua Ainsley, oku karaua. Ko J.B. Smith, taku papa. Ko Gail Canwell, tōku mama. Ko Jasmine ahau. Hi to everyone. Just happy to be here.
Ngā mihi whanaunga, and thank you so much for sharing with us your wānau connections, and just share what's a mihi to you and to your wānau. This is a beautiful kaupapa where it just allows, the opportunity for our uri like yourself just to, share your kōrero, share who you are, with the aim of, and the whole purpose of this kaupapa is really to connect us, uplift us as Taranaki Iwi uri, and just to be able to share what our journeys have been like, and I'm really looking forward to to what your journey has been like, and in particular certain kaupapa that you've recently been involved with as well, and you're just really excited to hear your journey, whanaunga, and how it has been for you. So tell us, whereabouts is your home at present?
At present, I live in Eltham, you know, in the quiet sort of little town. It's actually nice and quiet. I quite enjoy that. I grew up in New Plymouth, was born in New Plymouth, and grew up in Fitzroy, you know, at
Aye,
the beach. And spent most of my life at the beach. And I think about when, I think I was about 13, my parents divorced. And yeah, I just sort of got quite disillusioned with life.
aye,
You know, like
mm,
I always sort of followed what my parents, you know, told me to do. And when I realized that they didn't really know what they were doing either, I
aye,
sort of thought, well, you know, I'm out of here. And, you know, at 15, I left. I went to Hamilton
aye,
and I spent time with my family from up there, my koro's whānau, you know, my marae up there, up at Bowentown in Otawhiwhi, Otawhiwhi marae. Um, yeah, got up to some bad stuff. Not gonna lie, um, as you do when you're young. Um, I came home 16 with a boyfriend in tow and a baby on the way.
mm,
You know, um, I kept the baby. The boyfriend left, and that's you know, I was a single parent for a long time. Um,
aye. And how was it for you? So, like you were saying, like you were a young mother, you
yeah,
had your
yeah,
pepe, yeah. And
yeah,
so, what was it like for you? Did you have whānau support around you, or the village,
yeah.
like, as they say, So, yeah. So, tell us, how was it in the essence of like you were saying, at a young age, having whānau around you. How was that for you?
I um I had family support from my mum and her
Mm,
parents, and my mum and her family immigrated from England in the 70s. I was always a lot closer to that side of the family, and I mean with colonization and everything, uh,
aye.
yeah, it's sometimes you don't have the support from your Maori side, and it's there are so many reasons for that. It's
Mm,
not you, it's not them, it's the world we live in,
aye.
and that's just how it was. And but my English family um supported my Maoritanga. Um,
Aye.
it was never a negative for them. Um, but I found Taranaki growing up quite stifling.
Mm,
If when you wanted, like I wanted to take all that on, all the Māoritanga, I wanted to take that on. I looked for it, but it was hard to find it, you know,
right.
and
Aye.
until I went to high school, until I went to high school and, my teacher was Mrs. Bailey, beautiful soul. I just loved her, and she
Aye.
was everything to me. She was everything to me when it came to my reo and all that. And of course, my parents got divorced and school and that just went out the window,
Mm.
you know.
And
Yeah.
and so like you mentioned there about Mrs. Bailey, and the impact that she had on you as a young taihi at that point of time. And I suppose like when you look at that, how like you were saying when you were in her presence or in her company, what was it that made you feel that connect? Was it just it felt like you were at home with her? Yeah. Anything in
Uh,
particular?
she just had such, just her ahua, just
Mm,
so calming and just so open. Like I never ever saw her use a harsh word to anyone. And maybe there was times she should have, you get the odd, naughty little third former who's a bit mouthy. But no, she was just a beautiful soul, just amazing.
love and
Yeah,
I think that's quite an important thing too, isn't it? So like when you say it, even
yeah.
though we grow up, but we still there are times when we look back and we reflect and we actually do have those particular people in our lives that leave lasting impressions on us. So that's pretty special, and to kind of find comfort in, and and
Yeah,
trying to make sense with it as well. So
yeah.
big mahi to you, whanaunga, and of course too, being a young mother, it's not an easy mahi, but and I really love how you've touched on like your English family, and how embracing they were of have always been towards you, and and your identity as well, isn't it? So when you think about that, growing up, you know and you've got your pepe and so forth, take us, where did things take you after that point?
Well, I came back down here with my baby. Was back with mum, and I struggled to find work. Um, I eventually did years later. I actually worked at Fonterra here in Eltham. I was a machine operator for quite a long time, and I met another person. We had another girl, so two girls, and in 2008, my partner took his life. Um, it was it still is a very raw wound. Um, it's something that is always there. Um, but I feel like now it's been quite a long time
Mm,
since it happened. Now I channel I channel my pain
mm,
into into what I really want in my life. Like my real, my connections to my iwi. To me, these are the most important things. Because from iwi goes hapu, goes whānau. You know, it's
aye,
all whānau. It's for me, it's all the most important things in life. And
aye,
I fall over. I fall over quite often. For a long time, I didn't know that I was even going to stay. You know, but I stay for my kids because they already lost one person in that horrible way. Um, I can't, I can't
mm.
ever do that to them myself.
And it
You
is, isn't it? Whanaunga, and that's and just to share that your experience with that with our wano as well, because it is something that it does happen, and to experience that, it's it's a surreal moment, and it's the last thing that you want to ever wish upon anybody, but
know,
to for you to be able to speak about it with us today too. I just want to, mihi to you in relation to that, and to your whānau, because it is a kaupapa that we still trying to find our way through it, and the understanding, and to a point too, there may never ever be an understanding, but the thing is that to be able to kōrero about it, and to know that there is awhi out there, that we do care. You're never alone. And so,
yeah,
I think it's just something that we, want to always to reassure our whānau, is that, yeah, we have our moments, like you say, uh, we have our struggles, but I
aye,
think that's that beauty, that whole thing around about whānau, and this opportunity here too, whanaunga, like this kōrero with you. It's actually, to our whānau out there, you're not alone. You're not alone. Never ever think that you're alone.
mm,
There's always your whānau around you. So yeah, that's a big kaupapa whanaunga. But to listen to you, and how your mind shift in regards to your girls, um, and I think too, finding your place within your Māoritanga, your iwi, your hapu, your whānau. That's a beautiful journey. Tell us, how has that gone for you? And because, like you said, you started off at school not knowing, it wasn't around really. You had that yearning for it, but you didn't know where to go for it. You came in to connect with you know, one of our, you know, Mrs. Bailey, who gave you that, I suppose that comfort, or that just like kind of like that connect around your identity. You know, you've moved on, you know, through, you know, having being a solo mom, and then of course having another pepe, you know, and with your partner at that time, you know, with that side of things. But it really sounds like you're really channeling and looking at, you know, who you are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that was my main motivation for speaking to you is um, our whakapapa is just the number one important thing to grounding us. And for a lot of my life, I operated without it, and I'm still here. You know, um, if 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 all Maori had their connections and realized them and knew them, just the strength, the unending strength that comes from that. You know,
I
it's a well, it's an infinite well of strength. And you might feel so alone, but just knowing that all these people lived before you so you could be here, you know, your life
Te
means
I
something.
I
Yeah. Don't ever
Beautiful.
think that it means nothing,
That's
you know.
exactly right. And that, yeah, and you know, and just like you've mentioned, Whanaunga, you know, we're never alone. Like you say, our tupuna behind us, you know, we are just mere a representation of our tupuna, and like you say, it's really, you know, looking and taking in that inner strength, and actually, you know, knowing that you are important, you know, you are here on this, you know, you're here to fulfill whatever your life, whatever that looks like for you. And you know, and I suppose, you know, just to reflect on what you're saying around wanting to come and kōrero today and share with whānau your journey is exactly for this what this whole kaupapa is really about. It's really about us as whānau sharing our stories, but you know what it does for us when we know who we are. You know, and why would we want our whānau to be proud of who they are, and whatever they're
Right.
doing in life, that they're doing what they, you know, what they're destined to do, you know, and that's that beautiful thing for Nonga. And yeah, oh, honestly, just to hear, you know, your kōrero about your different paths and where you've gone, where you're currently at today, it's amazing, you know. And I just want to mihi to you, because it definitely has been a journey for you, and but the resilience you've shown as well, it's just, yeah, just amazing, you know. And you know, to even think about, you know, the stuff that you're doing now, share with us, you know your current stuff, you know, because I know you're involved in a few kaupapa, and in particular one that's been led by our whanaunga here, Pounamu and Whiria. So you tell us, what is it that you're doing to be able to fill your wide, you know, fill your cup really?
Well, like I went back to classes, and an opportunity for me arose to take over the community garden here in Eltham. So I thought, well, this is my tipuna talking to me, you know, showing me what I need to do for myself. So I took it. And then, you know, I saw Taranaki Iwi offering the Tātai Tangata Ki Te Whenua program, and I thought, oh, that's ideal to reconnect and to also, you know, look more into the Marakai kaupapa, you know, because that's you know a big part of my heart. Um, and yeah, joined up with that, and like, you know, it's just, you know, I've been to Mururapatu once for my great grandmother's tangi, you know, like it's so silly. We're so close to our places, yet there's this barrier, and I want to overcome that. And I mean, COVID doesn't help, you know, that's put a big
I
spanner in the works for everyone, you know, but when there's an end to that, you know, I'm nothing but hopeful about, you know, touching base with people, and, you know, sharing knowledge. You know, we can all get out there in our gardens and feed
I
everyone. We don't need the supermarket, you know, and all that. It's just, you know, we gain so much from reconnecting, and
I
we bring a lot we bring a lot to the table. We're not just wanting, we're here to give as well. And that's what we're all about. That's what the iwi Māori are all about, helping each other, manaakitanga.
Aye.
It's
Aye,
not all gloom, it's not all bad statistics and, all this negative stuff, don't take that on. Don't take it on into your heart. Always think positive because, we're survivors.
And that's right, whanaunga. And and that's the beautiful thing about it is that, it's kind of like, I've heard it and, it always resonates with me. It's kind of like reimagining what our future looks like, because nothing's impossible.
No.
And like you say, and to hear your kōrero about being home there in Eltham, you saw the opportunity to lead in that Māori project there for the community, and then just putting yourself forward and doing it, and just trusting that this is where I need to be because you're connecting with it. And I think that's a big thing because to be able to connect and do something that you love is really like the essence of it, isn't it? And like you say, it's
Yeah.
not, it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't,
No,
like you say, we are survivors.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm 46 and for the first time I feel fulfilled, in my heart, and if you can't get paid to do the thing you love, just do it anyway. Just do it
Yeah,
anyway. As long as your bills are paid and you got kai in the fridge, just get out there and tautoko your people, all
fill
the
your
hungry
cup, eh?
people. Yeah.
And fill your, and that's the thing is that we all have these, and this is something that I always kōrero about with our whānau is that, we all have a part to play. We just have to find what that looks like because we all
Yeah.
know what that feels like when we're in a moment, just like you when you're young, when you're in the presence of something, you can feel it, and that's that whole thing is that do what makes you happy, that fills that cup because it's an important thing. And just to even hear you say, you're 46, still young, but you just feel like that you are living, and it sounds like you feel, that you're living your life because it just you feel content and what you're doing, it's just the right thing for you.
Yeah. It's exactly how it feels. It's like, I wish, my son, he's going to Te Kura o Ngā Ruahine, and he's the only child of my 3 kids that have, that are going to a Māori school and everything. I just didn't have the confidence when I was younger to own it, but I just, with him, he almost, it's like through my childhood, I hid all my love for te ao Māori. And when he was born, he brought it out. He brought it with him and gave it to me. And in tautokoing him, I'm also, giving it to myself because, so it's so much easier to do something when it's for someone else. And not, just being selfish and doing it for yourself. So it's beautiful. It's my family, te whakapai ake ai o taku māramatanga, o taku whānau. That's, that's my mission.
That's just, honestly, whanaunga, just listening to that part too, it just, my whole, just what you've just shared there is, and it has been a reality for a lot of our whānau, going through those early stages. Like you say, you had your two tamariki before your son came along, but it wasn't, like you said, it just didn't know how to connect with it, and I suppose, when you look at the times and all that as well, but to be able to see that, through your son, your third child, and that just how it's just beautiful just to hear that and how with your boy going to the kura kaupapa down there, and shout out to our whānau down there, all doing an awesome mahi as all our kura are, and just going on a journey with him, because that's a beautiful thing. That's such a beautiful connect, and just so just really stoked for Nunga, just to hear you, and just how that's filled your wairua and all that about you as well, and just with the tātai tangata ki te whenua kaupapa, how's it been with connecting with other Taranaki Iwi whānau in that forum as well for
That
you?
that's just awesome. It's awesome to see other people around doing exactly what I'm doing, and like sometimes, I'm the only one that turns up to the garden, and I look around and I'm all on my own, and I think, oh, you get a bit
Yeah,
downhearted about it. But then connecting online and see that, there's people that are out there doing the mahi as well, because you have strength to carry on. Yeah, it's
Rawe.
just
Oh, and I must say, and just, mihi to you all, and to our whanaunga pounamu and Rawenia, like,
like,
just the passion with Marakai, and just, all about putting, resilience back into Kai, and, actually getting our whānau out there. And what's so beautiful about that, the tātai tangata ki te whenua kaupapa, is that, just even following your Facebook page, and just the intergenerational interaction with our pepe, tamariki, matua paheke. It's just such a beautiful thing. And I've seen your journey as well, and your photos that you've shared on that page. It's just, just really, it's just, it's such a beautiful thing. And like you say, there are times when when we're in a space, on our own. It's just like our whānau, at the marae, when, there's only a
yeah,
handful of you, you're keeping the home fires burning, keeping the marae, standing so whānau can come home and not. But like you say, there's always what's the kaupapa? Why are you doing it? And those are the times when we need to, really look within ourselves, and actually, well, it's bigger than me, um, you know, just to, to share with you, like, for me, my space, I love the space here with, catching up and connecting with whānau like yourself. But, my space, I love the kitchen at the pa. That's my jam, because that's something that's been instilled with me within my whānau. But, there are times where it can be when you're up early and you're there by yourself, and you're like, it's not a burden. I actually feel proud, because for me, it's around about, continuing on that mahi that was done before me, So, I'm just totally blown away, Whananga, of your journey and where you've come from. And, just to think, where you are today. And, it's such a beautiful kōrero, and what you've shared. And and for whānau out there, it's okay. You will find your way. And
yeah.
that's, for me, that's definitely, just listening to you today, it's just, just so overwhelming, and my heart's just really full, whananga, today. So thank you so much for that. And as far as I know, I could talk with you for hours on end, but I know, you've got mahi that you need to do as well. But I suppose really in hindsight of all of that, whananga, you've shared your journey and so forth. So for you, had you always known when you were that you were had Taranaki Iwi Wakapapa, that when you were growing up? So were you always interconnected with it? Tell us, how was that for you?
I always knew, just the basics, just, tribes and that sort of thing. I knew who my great grandparents were, and, this way, but nothing behind that. And it, like, I've been doing it for years. I had a bit of help from a couple of uncles. They have their
Aye.
colonization sort of trauma as well, which makes it hard. But I think if your heart is true and you are searching for the right reasons, it actually finds you, you know. You like you have to become a student of your history, of your Taranaki history, to find your whakapapa, because a lot of it is hidden in there. It's hidden in these stories and that you have to read. And
Aye.
it's like you're giving yourself an education, because you never got that education at school. No one was going to tell
Aye.
you what was done to us, what was done to our people, and it's hard to balance that anger, because I think we do. There's so much mamai. There's so much,
Aye.
and you have to navigate your way through that. And it's it can pull you down, but you've got to think, no, no more. We are going to look up, and we are going to lift our heads up high and be proud. We're going to
Aye.
be proud about who we are. Yeah, I think it finds you.
Aye.
And it's cool. Once you've got you're an arrowhead. You're at the
Aye.
front of an arrowhead, and you have this kōkiri, this amazing group of people.
Aye.
Like, that's why it's been kept from us.
Beautiful. And that's and I suppose, taking from that is that don't be afraid to discover who in essence that you truly are. And even though we may have been living a one certain way of life, don't be afraid of opening up actually to discover who you are. And I think that's a beautiful thing and to encourage our whānau out there. Like, everybody has their own journey around whatever that looks like for them, and whatever that wherever it takes them. And I think we can, for a lot of us, we can get caught up of not knowing what it looks like at the next phase, or a year down the track, because of that's how it's been embedded. But the thing is, and that's the journey about it, is that it's okay not to know what it's going to look like tomorrow, but just knowing and having faith in that wherever you're going, you're being led. There's a reason why wherever you're going, and I think you're just an example of that, whanaunga. Like, the journey that you're taking is that you're listening to the the inner senses and the what's around you. So, beautiful kōrero whanaunga. Thank you so much for that. And I suppose really for me too is that like, listening to all of this, you've done your journey, you know who you are, you know where your place is, and you're still growing in that space. So what does being Taranaki Iwi mean to you at this present point of time?
It means I'm a survivor, and it means I'm never ever going to give up. I'm on my ara. I'm on my road. I came from my tipuna. I'm on my road back to them. And my warua is full and happy and ready to take on anything.
Rawe. Beautiful. Well, whanaunga, I think I couldn't even wrap it up any better. How you've just how you've just wrapped your kōrero up there is just, it's beautiful and really inspiring. And I just want to mihi to you, and acknowledge you and your whānau, and the journey that you and your whānau have gone through, the challenges, the struggles that you have passed through. But to listen here to you today, and to have you share, the good moments, but also the dark moments in certain stages of your life. And I just want to mihi and thank you so much, because, for our whānau out there that may have been maybe in those situations at current, or have gone through that, one thing that comes out of this is that you're never alone, never ever alone. and to always find that inner strength, and to think of, those, the ones that are important to you, and just, like we are a mere representation of our ancestors. So I just want to mihi to you, tēnei te mihi kia koe te whanaunga, mai aroha to you and your whānau, and just, yeah, once again, just want to thank you so much for sharing your kōrero today, and I really wish you all the best, and I'm sure I have whānau down there in Eltham too, so I'm sure I'm going to keep an eye out for you, and I'll make sure I make contact, because I want to come along and check out the community garden. But just to our whānau out there that are joining in live, listening to our whanaunga Jasmine's kōrero. Whānau, if you are wanting to share your journey as well, just like Jasmine and Shirley have, please, we'd love to hear your kōrero and to share that with our wānau. But there will be more whānau that we will have come and join me in this forum in our Ngā Kanohi or Taranaki Iwi kaupapa. But without further ado, i te whanaunga, thank you so much, and to our whānau out there, take care, and we will be back with you with more of our whanaunga sharing their journey. So e ngā maunga kōrero, e ngā maunga waka I, kua mutu te kōrero, tēnā koutou katoa, pai marire.